Hey, Crystal, welcome to the show.
I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So, for folks listening, if you haven't met Crystal yet, Crystal Paine is a New York Times best-selling author. And she is the founder of the incredibly successful blog moneysavingmom.com, where she teaches moms how to save and earn more. So, Crystal, tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get started as a blogger?
Well, blogging was something that I definitely fell into, never saw myself as this was a thing that I was going to do. My husband and I got married 14 and a half years ago, and we had set this audacious goal that we were going to stay out of debt while he went through law school. So we started in on this journey, and I knew that the only way that we were going to be able to make that happen was for me to be bringing in an income, which I was working some side jobs. It was all working out. We were paying our bills, and it was good. Then I found out that I was pregnant and was really sick, had to quit working, and wanted to ultimately be a stay-at-home mom. So as I was in that pregnancy sickness, I started researching everything I could about making money online and found a lot of different ideas, started trying a lot of them, failed at a lot of things, but in the process discovered blogging. It was a very new phenomenon. I mean, this was in 2004, 2005, and most people hadn't heard of the concept of blogging. But so I started blogging, and I had this little mommy blog for 2 years. And on that mommy blog, one day I said something about buying all our groceries for $17. And people just came out of the woodwork saying, "Oh my goodness, how did you do that?" So I started blogging on saving money, cutting your grocery bill, and people were just eating the stuff up. So I kept blogging on that mommy blog, but just realized that I wanted to start something that was really focused on frugality and money saving tips for moms. So in 2007, I started moneysavingmom.com, thinking it was going to be this little side thing. And within a year, we were making a full-time income off of it.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really, really cool. So it sounds to me like you tried, lessons from that is that you tried several different things, tried different experiments, different blogs, different ways to make money online. And then you found like this one article you wrote just seemed to resonate with your audience more than pretty much everything else you had done. And so you decided to really double down and focus on that one area.
Yeah, and I think that that's one of the keys to success is really having your finger on the pulse and really paying attention to what are people eating up, what is resonating with them. And a lot of times it's not what you would expect. And so with social media, especially now, it is so easy to be able to kind of put things out there and see, does this stink or does this, is this working and is this resonating? Back when I started blogging, there wasn't social media. So you had to just write posts and see what the comments were, but now it's so much easier to figure out what works and what doesn't work.
That's great. So can you tell us about that first year with that blog when you went from kind of zero to full-time income? What were you doing on a daily basis to kind of get to that point?
So when I started Money Saving Mom, since I'd had 2 years of blogging kind of as a foundational, I feel like I went into Money Saving Mom knowing some different ways to monetize a blog, and I really had hoped that I could make a part-time income from it. And so I started really drilling down into figuring out, okay, what is affiliate marketing? What kind of affiliate marketing will work for this blog? And right off the bat, I found that different coupon printing companies like coupons.com and some of those, they would pay me to post about a coupon. They would pay me per print. And so at that time, there were a lot of people that were interested in printing coupons because the economy was starting to tank, and a lot of the media would be like, you should use coupons. And so people would get on Google and they would search up how to use coupons, and they would come on my site because there weren't very many other sites doing what I was doing, which was matching the deals at your local store. For instance, saying, you go to Walmart and you buy this kind of toothpaste and you use this coupon, you can get it for free, or you can get it for 17 cents or something. So a lot of people would come, they'd print those coupons, I'd get paid per print, and it was a win-win because they were getting a great deal and I was getting paid for the coupons. So that was really kind of one of the big money makers for us the first year, but then we quickly found a lot of other things, and it's really changed. The landscape of blogging has changed over the last 12 years, and I would say especially in the last 5 years with the advent of social media, with the advent of like Facebook and Instagram, and where people are doing live video, that's really changed the landscape. And so a lot of these companies that they used to, it would be very easy to put up a post and you would make $2,000 because they didn't have very many people who were tapping into this. They've changed their rates, they've changed their rules and all that. So you have to work a lot harder and be more creative and strategic in order to really do affiliate marketing well on a type of blog that I have.
Definitely. So can you tell us a little bit for folks who maybe are new to affiliate marketing, kind of how that works when you're going to write a blog post and you say, well, I want to make money in this post from affiliates. What is kind of your thought process and how does that work?
So it has changed over the years. When I first started, I was very much focused on just giving people deals at their local stores. So I was really focused on, like I said, the coupon printing. Every once in a while, I would post an online deal. For instance, with Amazon, they have an affiliate program that you can literally link to anything on Amazon as an affiliate. So I'll explain how affiliate marketing works, and that is that you will sign up to be an affiliate, and then they will approve you. And then once you're approved and part of their affiliate program, then when you use a special link that they give you, if people click on that link and then they make a purchase or take an action, depending upon the program, then you will receive payment. So for instance, on Amazon, which we now post a lot because people do a lot more online shopping than they did 10 years ago. So we will post, let's say there's a great deal on macaroni and cheese on Amazon. So we will get the link to that direct page on Amazon for the macaroni and cheese sale, and we will post that, and then we will use our affiliate link so that when people click through, if they buy the macaroni and cheese or if they buy anything on Amazon, we will make a percentage of the sale. So Amazon is a really great affiliate company to start with because they pay you on any sale on their site if someone has clicked through your link on your site. So it's really great, especially around Christmas time, because a lot of people are spending money on Amazon. So even if they don't buy that thing that you're linking to, they will a lot of times be buying something on Amazon and you'll make the money. So one of my thought processes that I always go through before posting something is this a win for my readers? That's really the number one thing. So because we post a lot of deals and sales, that is very easy to decide, is it a good deal? Well, then it's a win for my readers. But then there are also lots of other types of posts that I do where I do affiliate marketing. And that would be a post where I would say maybe my 10 favorite books and on productivity. And so then all of those books would be affiliate links over to Amazon. That's a win for my readers because I'm giving them content that they're interested in, but I'm also able to use my affiliate links. I might also, for instance, there's a company that I work with called Surprise Ride. They send activity boxes for kids every single month. And so they pay me for every person who signs up for a free box from them. You just pay shipping. It's $5.95, I think, for the box. And so they pay me per lead on that. So for instance, I've done a blog post on that. Tonight, I'm getting ready to do a Facebook Live where I will show my box and I will go through and show what you get and then plug how you can get one for free. That's a win for my readers because it's offering them some really cool opportunity to get this activity box for free, but it's also a win for me because by taking the time to tell my readers about it, I'm able to earn a good percentage of the profits from it.
That's awesome. So, I mean, I know blogging has changed a lot since you started, right? And so a lot of folks talk about, doing SEO and social media. Starting today, if you were to start a new blog today in 2017, I know you actually started one recently. How would you go about getting traffic to your new site?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And I think it always starts with your content. I always tell people, don't start a blog for the money. Because if you start a blog for the money, you're going to burn out because it's a lot of work. But if your heart is in it, your passion is in it, that's going to come through and people are going to want to read what you have to share. So I really feel like it starts with the content. And now, because of how things have changed with blogging, you really need to have a personality. You can't just kind of be just one of many. You need to bring your best self. And so how are you different? How are you interesting? How is your life experience and your story and your unique perspective different than other people's? Now, when you do that, when you bring your personality, there are people who aren't going to like your particular personality, but that's okay because you're not for everyone, just like someone else isn't for everyone. And so if you bring your own unique personality, there's a lot more chance that you're going to attract people to you, that they're going to want to come along on the journey with you. And so one of the best ways to get traffic to your blog is to have great content. So be meeting a need. And so think about how is what you're putting out there meeting a need or solving a problem. So think about that every time you write a post. What need is this meeting? What problem is this solving? And when you do that, then you're serving your readers well. And when you serve two readers well, one of them is going to tell a friend, who's going to tell another friend, who's going to tell another friend. And I really focus on building your blog one person at a time. I recently started a new blog. This was in April. I started yourbloggingmentor.com, teaching people how to be successful at blogging. And my heart with that is really to help people make a part-time to full-time income from blogging. And so it's really directed at beginners. And I am loving getting to start over from scratch and building it one person at a time. And so, for instance, with Instagram, it's so great because you can connect personally with people through Instagram stories. It's that personal connection. And instead of focusing on the masses, focusing on one person at a time.
That's great. I love that focus on content, like creating content that's super valuable, right? But the challenge with that nowadays, I feel like, is like, if you Google like how to save money on grocery shopping or how to coupon, like I feel like there's just so many blog posts and so many articles these days. How do you create content that's truly unique? And how would you even know before you write a post if that's something that you can add more value to than what anyone else out there is already doing?
I think a lot of it is you learn by trial and error. And I've learned from a lot of error. And so you get to the place where you really know, for the most part, what is going to get people interested. For instance, I do a weekly post that is my grocery shopping trip and our menu plan. And I show pictures of what we buy at the store. I show my receipts, and then I outline what we're having for dinners, for lunch, breakfast, lunches, and dinners that week. People eat that up because it's showing them practically how I'm applying the principles that I share on my blog. It's not just a principle in theory, but it's showing them practically how I'm walking that out. And I always do a Facebook Live when I come home, and I'm just standing at my kitchen table and I have all my groceries out on the table, and I'm literally just going through one by one. Here's what I paid. Here's why I bought this. I got this great deal on this. People love that because it inspires them, it encourages them, it gives them ideas of ways that they can save money at the store too. So I really encourage people who are thinking, okay, how do I find my voice? How do I set myself apart from all the other voices? Be you, share your own personal experience. We get so many guest posts into my site, moneysavingmom.com, where, because we have a guest post submission form, with so many of them, it's a great concept, but they're not practically applying it in their life. And I know that the guest posts that are going to resonate with my readers are the ones where someone's sharing a story. They're sharing how they paid $40,000 off of their debt. They're sharing how they figured out how to cut their grocery bill by 25%. And it's not just follow these 3 steps. It's this is what we did. So really thinking about how do you bring your own personal experience and share what you are doing. I love that with Instagram stories and Facebook Live, you're actually able to get on live video and share with people as you're living your life what you're doing. And people really love that.
That's great. I love that idea of like sharing your story and really taking it a lot further than just the typical, here's 3 ways to save money on groceries, right? It's like, here's what I actually spent, $17. Here's all this food we got. Here's the receipt. And then you go through item by item in your video, and also having the pictures in your posts. It sounds like a lot more work than kind of a typical list post, but it also sounds like the kind of thing that actually would resonate with people on a much deeper level and actually get them to kind of inspired to take action and to share what you're doing as well.
Well, I think one of the big things to remember as a blogger, especially because of how things have changed, you want people to be following you, not your blog, because we don't know what's going to happen with blogging in 10 years from now. It's changed so much in the last 10 years. We don't know what the next 10 years holds. But if people are following you, then as things ebb and flow and things change on the social media landscape, you are going to have people come with you wherever you go because they're following you. They're not following your blog. And so I really try to encourage people to really bring their own personality and their own stories to the table when you're blogging. A lot of my readers, they've been following me for at least 8 or 10 years. And so they've watched, my kids are 12, 10, and 8. And so they have been on the journey with me since my kids were little. And since they were babies, I even live blogged my second birth. And so a lot of people, when I'll go speak at a conference, they'll come up to me and they'll be like, I read your live blog of your second birth, and oh my goodness, now your daughter is this old. And so they feel such a connection with me as a person because they've followed me on the journey. They've seen the pictures of my kids. They've heard our stories. They've seen our struggles. They've seen our successes, and they feel like they know me. In fact, just last week, my husband and our family, we went on a 14-day East Coast road trip, and I blogged and did social media about it, especially on Instagram, and shared every day where we were going and what we did. And I did Instagram stories and kind of shared money-saving tips and practical tips along the way. Well, there were a lot of people who kept commenting, and they wanted to meet us. And then somebody commented, and they said, I almost, when you asked where we should go when you're in Ohio, she said, I almost commented and said, well, of course you should come meet me. And then she's like, I realized you have no clue who I am, but I feel like you're my close friend because I've been following you for so long. And I just thought, that's what I want. I want people to feel like I'm their next door neighbor. I'm not this person who's standing up on this high stage who has it all figured out, but I'm your next door neighbor who is on this journey with you. And so for me, that's what I want to exude in everything I do online. And that's when you have that sort of relationship with your followers, they are going to go with you for the long haul because they are following you, not your blog.
That's a really good point. So really focusing on your personal brand and not just your company or your business or your blog that you're working on right now.
I think a lot of people are really scared to kind of share the underbelly of their everyday life. And so I've tried to figure out, okay, how do I do this well? You don't want to just air all your dirty laundry, but I think people want to know that you're a real person and that you don't have it all shiny and polished and perfect and photoshopped. And so, for instance, on my new site, Your Blogging Mentor, that one's a little bit more going to be a professional view of me because I'm not going to share on there, my kids are having a hard day or whatever. That's more of a niche topic, and I want to stay on topic there. But on my Instagram stories there, I'm going to share if I'm struggling through something or learning a lesson, or that I had to learn a lesson the hard way, or that we were just learning how to do a kind of new type of course. And so I shared pictures and shared video, and I talked about that on my Instagram stories, and it's real and raw and authentic. And so it's not just like, I have it all figured out, I know what I'm doing, I got this, but sharing with people that I struggle too. People love that. And I found that is what is really going to attract people to you, is if you're honest and you share with them the real, and you don't have everything just look like it's all perfectly put together.
Right, totally. That authenticity really resonates with people, right? And they see that there's, a real person behind the blog, there's a real person behind the video, and they can see themselves in your story, right? So when you're having a bad day with your kids or whatever, other parents can relate to you and to what you're going through, and can kind of feel like, feel that empathy and the compassion for you and what you're doing.
And what was really interesting is before the advent of live video, I had been blogging for years and years, and I thought that, I'd really connected with my audience, and I had to an extent. But when Periscope came around and I started doing daily Periscope shows, and I had a morning show every single morning on Periscope. And after maybe 4 or 5 weeks of doing that, people started emailing me at a very different level than I'd ever gotten emails. And they started saying to me things like, I've been following your blog for 8 years and I've always loved it, but I've never connected with you like I've connected with you on live video. And they would say things like, it just helps me to understand that you're a real person. I put you up on a pedestal, and now with live video, I see you're just like me. And so that's one thing that I love. On blog posts, we edit them, we have the nice pictures, we have everything formatted nicely. And when you do live video, you can't go back and edit it and fix it. And so I think there's a beautiful thing about the social media and how it's progressed, so that we have that real time, so that we can connect with people in a whole new way, and that they can see that we're just like them and we're learning, and just encouraging people right where they're at.
Yeah, totally. So I think one of the things that holds back a lot of people, I know it's held back me in many areas of life, especially when it came to blogging and sharing online, is like fear, right? Like, we're afraid to be vulnerable in our blog posts. We're afraid to do live video. We're afraid to share about, the personal challenges and our struggles. How have you gotten over those fears and been able to accomplish so much in spite of those fears?
I don't know if you ever get over the fears. They are always there, but I think that your comfort zone moves. And so that's the thing that I've learned. The more that I push myself outside my comfort zone, then my comfort zone, it moves. And so for me, I remember the first time I went on Periscope, I was scared to death. I had spent 4 weeks watching other people doing Periscope, and I said I was going to do it, and I committed that I was going to do it. And back then, that's when they didn't save them on the app. So you knew it was only going to be up for 24 hours, and you could always delete it. So I remember my hands were just shaking, and I pushed the start broadcast, and it was a terrible broadcast. I mean, the first 2 weeks of broadcast were awful, but I committed that I was going to do it for a month. And I put it out there, and I told my audience, and so I stuck with it. And so for me, a lot of times the fear is not necessarily that you're going to get over it, but that you're going to push through it. And you know that you're supposed to do something, or something is that you really want to do it. And so you say, I'm just going to do it, even though I'm really scared. And one thing that has helped me, so for instance, with live video or with speaking on a stage, what helps me is to have a plan ahead of time. So with live video, I always have a rough outline. And in the beginning, I always wrote it out. I had an intro, I had the body of what I was going to say, and I had a close. And that really helped me so that it kept me on track. And the more that I've done it, the easier that it's gotten, so that I don't have to write it all out necessarily. But I still in my head know exactly what I'm going to say when I get on live video. And I find that when I go on a stage or when I go on live video, knowing the first 3 or 4 sentences that are going to come out of my mouth, exactly how it's going to go down, that helps me so that I can start with confidence, even if I don't feel it. If I can fake it for a little while, then it usually I will feel more confident once I get through those first 3 or 4 sentences. So for me, doing it and having a plan as much as possible, those are things that have really helped me.
Absolutely. That's great advice. Well, do you have any last words of advice for other folks out there who are maybe thinking about starting a blog or already have a blog and just want to get more exposure and more traffic?
I think that I would just really encourage people to continue to get brave and put yourself out there and be vulnerable. That is what people are going to connect to, but also connecting with other people online. I know it can be kind of scary to feel like, well, I'm a new fish in this big pond, and I want to connect with other bloggers, but I don't know how to do that. And maybe I'm going to do it the wrong way, or, what if like they don't want to connect with me or whatever. The biggest advice that I always give to bloggers who want to network with other bloggers, which I think you really should do, is to go first, but also to become a champion and a cheerleader of others. So the more that you can promote other people, that you can encourage other people, that you can go to people and just be their champion, be their cheerleader, people are going to notice that. And eventually it's going to come around and it's going to bless you. But when you go to someone, I get emails all the time when they'll be like, I have this new blog post. Can you please go check it out? Can you please post about it? And I've never heard from them before. And the first thing that I'm hearing from them is them making an ask. That's very much a turnoff to most people. So if you can instead be investing in other people by championing and cheerleading them, and just really not seeing it as that this is something that we're all in competition with one another, but that we're all here to encourage one another. I have found that some of the most beautiful relationships have come from that, and the most beautiful opportunities have come from really viewing, waking up every day saying, like, who can I encourage today? Who can I come alongside today? Who can I promote and support and encourage today?
Absolutely. That's wonderful. And, I think that's one of the things that I've noticed all successful people in business that I've worked with do, is that they always try to create those win-win situations, right? So can you give us some concrete examples of how you actually go about encouraging and promoting and sharing other people's stuff?
That's a fantastic question. So I am always looking for people who like, or just doing really amazing things without getting credit for it. And so one of the things on my new site, Your Blogging Mentor, that I've been looking for is people who are commenting a lot and people who are interacting a lot, and to have this little blog that most people don't know about. And then I love the opportunity to get to share their blog on my Facebook page, which I have almost 900,000 followers on my Money Saving Mom Facebook page. So every week I'm looking for people who have this amazing blog post that probably just no one's ever seen before. And then I'll go post it on my Money Saving Mom blog, or I'll post it on Facebook page, or just on my Facebook page, or just share it with other people, promote it in my newsletter, that sort of thing. I love being able to do that. I also love just going out of my way to look for people that I can be a cheerleader for. So when one of my friends has a new book coming out, just being able to, one of my friends, she's getting ready to launch her book, and I've been able to just the whole process behind the scenes, just texting her and encouraging her and being like, yep, that's normal. That's okay. You're going to make it. It's good. And just really encouraging her, and then being able to then be an advocate for her book. And I'm really excited to be able to promote it when it comes out. And so I love, those are some concrete ways that I love to be able to encourage people. And then also sometimes it's just an encouraging word. One of the things that I try to do is respond to as many of my comments as I possibly can. And so just right before I came on here, I was on Instagram and in my direct messages, and I tried to respond to every single one of those. And it might just be a simple, thank you so much for your kind encouragement. But if it's somebody who they're having a hard day, just to try to give them an encouraging word, or they are sharing their blog post with me, to go over and look at their blog post and then say, that is amazing, like, and point something out that I really loved in it, just to encourage them and to say, you know, you're doing a great job.
That's so cool. I love your mindset and that servant's heart you have to just keep giving back and encouraging other people.
I just feel like I want to be a conduit, not like keep my fist clenched, but just, I feel like the more that you just live with your hands open, the more that there's blessing in your life.
Absolutely. That's so great. Well, tell us a little bit about the blessings that you're bringing into the world. What are you working on now, and how can folks connect with you?
So I'm really excited because this year we launched yourbloggingmentor.com that I talked about, and that's for beginning to intermediate bloggers who want to make a part-time to full-time income blogging. Very, very excited about that. It's something that for years people have begged for me to do, and I always just felt like I didn't have the capacity to do it without losing too much sleep or my family getting the leftovers. But now I'm in a position that I'm able to do that. I'm really excited. And then we launched Your Blogging University to go hand in hand with that. And I'm very, very thrilled because we're launching courses that are small courses that are on very specific topics. So we just are launching, actually just today as we're recording this, today was our soft launch day for our new Blog Startup 101 course, which is a course to really walk brand new bloggers through how to set up their blog. And there's videos and there's tutorials and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I'm just holding your hand and walking you through how to actually set the things up, because it can be really daunting if you're like, I'm going to set up a blog, but figuring out the actual step-by-step how to get from no blog to a successfully set up blog. And so that course is all about that. And then we have a lot of other courses that we're planning on all sorts of specific topics for beginner bloggers, and then eventually, hopefully, intermediate bloggers.
That's so cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today, Crystal. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.